This week I got to celebrate my 10th year anniversary of being senior pastor at Manchester Christian Church in Manchester, New Hampshire. And it's been an amazing time just reflecting on all that we've experienced and all I've gotten to be a part of. And as I was reflecting on that, I just decided to make a quick list of 10 things I've learned in 10 years at MCC. And I'm excited to share that with you. First thing, number one, God is always working. That hit me just like a ton of bricks. God is always working. There have been lots of times where maybe I couldn't see what he was doing or wasn't sure what he was up to. But as I reflect on that 10 years, there was never a period of time where God wasn't at work and he wasn't doing amazing things to build and grow his kingdom. Number two, the church is strong. Oh, the church is so strong. The church is not weak or vulnerable or tenuous. The church is full of strength because the church is people, God's people, and he's building up his church for acts of service to help share his love with the world. And I know the church is strong, and I rejoice in that. Number three, if I had known how hard it would be, I never would have done it. And that's a little bit sobering to tell you, but the truth of the matter is, if I had known the grief, the pain, the dying to self, the sacrifice, if you had shown that to me 10 years ago and I watched that, I would have said, can't do it, not going. I wouldn't have moved 2,000 miles away from home. I'd have said, no way, it'd be too hard. Number four, if I'd known how good it would be, I wouldn't have believed it. Yeah, it's been hard and harder than I ever expected or could have ever imagined, and no way to make it through it. But if you had said, it will be this good, I would have said, you're crazy. Nothing can be that good. It's more than I could have ever asked or imagined. And so while it's been hard, it's also been better than I could have ever even come to imagine. Number five, showing up is half the battle. Now, if I figure out the other half, I'll tell you that. I don't know it yet. All I know is I just keep showing up. And I encourage our church to just keep showing up. Showing up is half the battle. Show up ready, prepared. Begin every day in prayer and in reading the scriptures. And then show up ready to share God's love. God, please give me one person to share your love with. And then take that next step of faith. Showing up's half the battle. And then God does his thing and his work. And we get to be a part of it. Number six. Never underestimate the power of fun. There is this horrible lie from the devil out there that is making its way around Christian circles that says fun is not of God. You gotta be kidding me. God's the originator of fun. And fun in him and life in him is the abundant life that Jesus promised us. So have some fun and enjoy having fun. Have fun that glorifies and honors God, and that will be attractive to other people. They want in on it as well. Number seven, hold tightly to Jesus. Hold tightly to him. Grab hold of Jesus. Be all Jesus all the time. Never abandon Jesus. Always point to Jesus. Don't try to be something you're not, but always point people to Jesus and hold tightly to him. Number eight, hold loosely to everything else. Methodology will always change. And old methods may come back and we use those. And so I'm going to hold tightly to Jesus, but very loosely to everything else. That doesn't mean I don't want to have a grip, but it's a gentle grip. That means on people too. On the relationships that I get to be a part of. They may only be for a season, and then they may need to move on to something else. And that's okay. But I'm going to enjoy them while I can, and release them when they need to be released, whether it be methods or relationships or thought processes or anything else. I'm going to hold tightly to Jesus, loosely to everything else. Number nine, love covers a multitude of sins. Thank you, Jesus. Because in 10 years, I've made more mistakes than I really have any awareness of. In fact, if you showed me the low light reel of all the mistakes I've made in the last 10 years, I wouldn't be able to bear it. It would be too overwhelming. But I've chosen to love and to share God's love. And I know that his love covers over a multitude of sins. And so while I've missed the mark and I've been broken and I've caused damage, more damage than I could ever bear, God's love prevails and it heals and it provides hope and wholeness. And so love covers over a multitude of sins. And lastly, number 10, the best is yet to come. I have no doubt about it. The best is yet to come. God's still working. The church is strong. Let's go. The best is yet to come. I can't wait to see what he'll do next. Maybe another 10 years? Let's go, church.